This is one of those situations where I have to ask myself, why am I attracted to women like this? And could that be why I'm still single? The fish theory. Fish are not attracted to bait that is healthy and moving smoothly through the water. Fish are attracted to bait that jumps, quivers, and zigzags due to some type of distress. Apparently, I'm part fish and go for erratic, ziggy women who have moods that flop around like a mackerel on a hot sidewalk. Over the years, I've dated so-called stable women, but I just never got hooked. In my 30s, I dated a stable woman named Karen. But after a couple months, I wanted to break up. I was tired of her constant cheerfulness, which struck me as phony. And her moods, unlike mine, never zigged or zagged. But I was also tired of being alone, so I went to see my therapist. He suggested I stick with her and sit with the discomfort. But being with Karen was like trying to see how long I could hold my breath. When she put her arm around me, I felt nothing. After sex, we had nothing to talk about. Worse still, she was a nice person, and I was consumed with guilt. Every week I go to the therapist's office. Can I break up with her now? And he'd say, just give it another week. But my attraction to volatile women doesn't really explain why I'm still single. Lots of crazy people marry. Judging by the divorce rate and friends I know who have tied the knot, marriage is no barometer of mental health. But in my darkest hours, like those Saturday nights when I'm at the movies by myself and sitting in the handicap seat, I have to wonder, what's the matter with me? The valency theory. Certain atoms have the ability to bond with lots of different types of atoms. Other atoms are less valent and can only bond with a few types of atoms. Apparently, I'm the less valent type and can only bond with certain kooky volatile atoms, which also seem to seek me out. When we do connect, the result is an unstable, combustible molecule that eventually blows up. Ricky. I met Ricky at a barbecue in Cambridge, Massachusetts about 10 years ago. She had straight shoulder-length hair and a barbed wire tattoo around her bicep. She moved like someone who exercised, like me. The lines around her mouth indicated that she was probably about my age. Now this barbecue was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, so it was a vegetarian, gender-neutral, low-carbon footprint affair. Now I noticed Ricky because she had brought a huge bloody porterhouse that looked like a prop for a slasher movie. I watched as she wrestled the thing onto the grill. She glanced at me. She glanced again. I gave her my one and only pickup line. So, are you having fun? As she talked, I looked into her eyes. It looked like she'd been laughing, or crying, or laughing and crying. I looked deeper still and could sense a disturbance, an electrical storm. I imagined her brain cells flashing, twitching, and jumping like herring being chased by a large predator. I wanted to be that predator. On our first date, she showed up an hour late, wearing Ray-Bans on an overcast day. Apologies for my tardiness, she said. I was up late last night at a Caribbean party. I was the only white person there. She had my attention. Later, we went rollerblading. At one point, I pulled ahead of her. From behind me, I heard a loud ka-thunk, followed by an ah, fuck. Ricky had slammed into a parked car. Now I was hooked. We bonded hard and fast, but after a few months, we hit that inevitable plateau and began arguing. Then, we crossed the 50% mark, where the bad times outnumbered the good ones. We made an appointment with my therapist. So, what seems to be the problem? He's a neat freak. He's a hypochondriac. He's got the worst taste in clothes and music, and he teases me all the time. Please medicate him. He's mentioned me teasing before. Here you go, taking his side. That's the type of patriarchal attitude that used to get women locked up in mental hospitals. I knew this was a stupid idea. After the session, I called the shrink. Should I bail on this relationship? You know I can't give you advice like that. Let me rephrase. If I said I wanted to bail, would you suggest I sit with it for another week? Probably not.